Key on a table, plastic tag with a faded nine. The thin curtain barely holding back the blinking motel sign. There's a map on the bed, all folded where the state lines break. Coffee in a paper cup, gone cold beside this pen and page. Boots by the door still dusty from that last back road I took. Phone face down on the dresser so I don't see if you look. Television in the corner, throwing shadows on the floor. I write your name and then I stop, 'cause you don't need what I've done before. I carry quiet envelopes from back rooms with no clocks. Watch the way a handshake changes when you open certain locks. Parked in alley, waited hours, lights off, engine warm and low. Learn which doors to never knock on, learn which debts you never owe. I kept my voice like gravel, kept my eyes on exits first. Never asked for explanation, only listened for the words. Now every street that knew my tires is whispering my name. So I took the highway out before they ever taught you shame. You'd say a man can turn around, you'd say I'm more than what I paid. But I've seen what follows footprints when you step out of the shade. So I'm putting miles between my sins and your front door. Every marker that I pass is one less reason you see more of the things I had to carry, of the names I had to write. Let this engine do the talking as it hums all through the night. Yeah, I'm putting miles between my sins and where you sleep. If I have to be the outlaw, I'll be the one who leaves you clean. Diner sign is humming over chrome and empty chairs. Jukebox in the corner, waiting coins and midnight prayers. I take a blue face in the window, watch the pumps across the lot. There's a waitress pouring coffee like she's seen my kind of lot. Newspaper on the counter with some headline I don't read. My reflection in the sugar glass looks older than my deeds. I write one last line to you, then fold it back within. 'Cause the safest thing I'll ever put your way is what I never sent. There was a night I almost turned this dusty wheel around. Picture of you in the visor, hands too heavy to come down. But this dashboard knows my history, every scramble, every call. I push it through the darkness and let the asphalt take it all. So I'm putting miles between my sins and your front door. Every marker that I pass is one less ghost you're guilty for. All the shadows in my rear view, let them chase this steel and chrome. You deserve a quiet doorway that don't answer to my phone. Yeah, I'm putting miles between my sins and where you lie. If I have to ride forever, I'll be the one who says goodbye. I'm outside a motel in a quiet roadside diner at night. Thin wall hums an old fridge and a ticking plastic clock. I'm sitting at this cheap desk, suit jacket on the chair, writing words I'll never mail you, leaving ink instead of prayer. Coffee cooling in a paper cup. Diner down the road, highway map half folded, showing exits I've outgrown. Your picture in my wallet, corners worn from younger nights. You wanted me to settle, but my shadow loves the flight. Said you didn't fear me, just the ghost that walked behind. The favors and the whispers, all the debts I keep in mind. You held my wrist one evening, touched this watch and said decide. Be a man inside this life, or be a man that steps aside. Out past this torn up curtain, there's a long unblinking lane. I've seen men chase their freedom there and circle back in chains. I learned my rules in back rooms where the windows never glow. If I stay, they'll come to find me, and they'll stand where you should go. So I fold your name in margins, try to say what won't sound weak. Every line a quiet sentence that my pride refuses to speak. I leave like a gentleman on the run, quiet shoes and steady breath. No big scenes or raised up voices, just a promise kept to death. If I stay, you wear my trouble. If I go, you keep the sun. So I'll walk out through this doorway like a gentleman on the run. Diner sign keeps softly buzzing over empty parking lines. There's a waitress wiping silver like like a gentleman on the run, headlights pointed at the dark. Every mile between us, buying back the days. I'd leave a mark. If I stay, you wear my trouble. If I go, you get to shine. And so I fade into the rear view like a gentleman on the run. Motel lamp buzzing over thin white wall. Motel key on the table, number stamped and nothing more. Suitcase by the door with a shirt and a pair of boots. Jacket on the chair still smells like long nights and old roots. There's a notepad by the phone, page turned, pen laid straight. I start to write your name once, then just stare and hesitate. I could tell you where I'm headed, I could say I'll call you soon. But men like me don't leave maps, we just slip out of the room. Down that narrow hallway, vending machine humming glow. Ice bucket on a trolley, faded carpet wearing low. Step outside to the parking lot, feel the gravel under feet. My car waits by the far fence line like a shadow off the street. I ride to the all-night diner, chrome and glass and empty chairs. Coffee in a chip white cup, quiet records, thin night. a silent exit lane. I'm the man who doesn't turn. I keep my name off every story. Leave my weight in what you've learned. You can love me in your memory, not the way I move and stay. On a silent exit lane, I let the taillights fade away. On the outskirts, single pump and humming sign. Attendant nods and checks the meter while I watch the dotted line. On the hood, a folded jacket. On the seat, a worn out file. Every page, a quiet reason why I can't stay one more mile. I see your face in the rear view, laid across those distant lights. All the promises I almost spoke, riding shotgun through my nights. I grip the wheel a little harder, keep my eyes on what's ahead. Talk to you inside my chest instead of pages never read. If I ever turn around, it won't be for fear or need. It'll be because I've buried every trace of what I bleed. Till that day I keep it moving, low and steady, mile by mile. You deserve more than a drifter with a cold and borrowed smile. On the silent exit lane, I'm the man who doesn't turn. I keep my name off every story, leave my weight in what you learned. You can love me in your memory, not the way I move and stay. On a silent exit lane, I let the taillights fade away. On a silent exit lane, where the loud ones lose their nerve, I disappear between the markers with the only law I serve. You can hold me in a question, not in where I sleep today. On the silent exit lane, I drive my ghost the other way. The city's breath is heavy, but I'm not afraid. I walked these streets too long, never been swayed. Tonight I'm packing my bags, I'm taking my leave. But there's a whisper in the shadows, pulling me back to deceive. I'm standing at the station, but the train's not here. The city's holding tight, it's always near. I know I can run, but will I ever be free? The city's a ghost, and it's following. I'm chasing the ghost, but it never lets go. I'm running away, but it's all I know. You can leave the city, but the city's in you. Chasing the ghost, there's no way through. I've seen the shadows and the deals in the night. I've danced with the devil, I've stayed out of sight. But now the time has come, I'm moving on my own. I'm leaving it all, but the city's not unknown. The train's coming, but it's a dream I can't hold. The city's pulling me back, it's a story untold. I know I should go, but my hands are tied. The city's grip's a chain, it won't let me slide. I'm chasing the ghost, but it never lets go. I'm running away, but it's all I know. You can leave the city, but the city's in you. Chasing the ghost, there's no way through. The rain's falling soft, the train's coming near, but I know the truth, it's crystal clear. I've been here before, I've tried to leave it all, but the city's a ghost, and it answers the call. I'm chasing the ghost, but it never lets go. I'm running away, but it's all I know. You can leave the city, but the city's in you. Chasing the ghost, there's no way room key on the table, plastic chair against the wall, thin bed spread on the hallway, highway shaking through it all. Neon from the lobby sign, crawling lines across my suit, duffel leaning by the doorway, boots still dusty with the root. There's a note I never finished, folding underneath my phone. Words you asked me for last winter, when I said you'd be my home. But the cash is in the floor mat, and the engine's cooling slow. So a man who lives by leaving hears the road say when to go. pumps at this station, numbers rolling, slow and low. Coffee rising in a paper cup, machines whisper in a row. License plate already waiting in the shadows by the bay. Glove box holds a quiet tokens from the work I did today. I still see your kitchen window when I kill the dashboard light. You with hands around the mug cup, soft and steady in the night. You said take a different highway, come back here and let it rest. But a life that feeds on silence keeps its secrets in the chest. Every white line on this blacktop is a question in my name. Every exit that I pass up feels a little like my blame. I'm the shadow on the highway, I'm the one who drives away. I keep danger in my mirror, but I'm the one who has to pay. If I turn this wheel toward you, all those ghosts would find our door. So I lock my hands around it and just go mile by mile some more. I'm the shadow on the highway, and I leave before the day. There was one night by your doorway, coat still pressed and shoes still clean. You were tracing little circles on my tie, asking what my silence means. I could feel the whole street listening when I kissed you by that rail. Felt the metal in my pocket like a promise made in jail. Now it's dashboard blowing distance, empty signs and yellow lines. Radio turned down to nothing, just the engine in my mind. I could let your number ring out, hear your voice cut through this safe. But the road I built on leaving doesn't bend without a break. No one knows the name I'm under. Once I cross the county sign, let the loud man chase a legend. I just keep my papers fine. I don't carve it in the concrete, I don't write it in the glass. I just crack the window open, let the old life slowly pass. I'm the shadow on the highway, I'm the one who drives away. I keep danger in my mirror, but I'm the one who has to pay. If I turn this wheel toward you, all those ghosts would find our door. So I hold this road like judgment and just go mile by mile some more. I'm the shadow on the highway, trading love for staying free. Yeah, the shadow on the highway is the last thing that you'll see. the law, holding the city together while it eats him from the inside. You shine that glass like you've been here forever. Same slow circle, same long night. My jacket's hanging on the bar back hook. My tie's undone, but my gun's still tight. There's a badge print showing through this pocket, pressed like a bruise under the shirt. And I keep tracing water rings on this counter, counting every time I acted like it didn't hurt. I came in with polished shoes and a fresh white shirt, straight out the academy gate. Thought a clean report and steady hands were all I need to keep a crooked street straight. Then one envelope slid across a locker bench, just a thank you for a favor, nothing much. It felt like nothing when I took it, kid, but that's the first time the line moved under my touch. The city don't care what side you're on if you keep the wheels in time. It just feeds the men who bend the rules and never write it in the line. I'm the man on both sides of the line, one hand on the badge, one hand in the crime. Walk past the tape like the rules are mine, talk to every wolf and call it a sign. I'm the shadow in the mirror of the flashing light, the hush in the siren when it cuts the night. I keep this city from tearing itself apart, even while it's carving slow across my heart. Last week down by the docks they called me, said a truck went missing near the pier. I filed it in with half the story, left the rest folded in an envelope here. There's a locker in a back room full of paper ghosts, with my tired name stamped on the top, and a bottom drawer with a cold brass badge waiting for the night I finally make it stop. If I was talking to that rookie in the mirror, I'd say pick a side and don't you slide. The first time you blink at a heavy hand, you're already working for the other side. But I climbed every quiet deal like a stairwell. Now I'm 3 floors down in my own life. So I hold this stool like a witness stand, stay upright while the years walk by. I'm still the man on both sides of the line, one hand on the badge, one hand in the grind. Walk past the tape like the rules are mine, trading little cuts of soul for borrowed time. I'm the ghost behind the mirror of the flashing light, the hush in the siren when it splits the night. If this city gets to sleep at all tonight. It's 'cause men like me paying things we can't put right. Walk these streets in silence, moving through the night. A shadow in the corner, just out of sight. The city's seen it all, it's never seen me fall. Now I'm packing up my bag, ready to leave it all. Made my name in whisper, known but never seen. A silent man in shadow, caught between the life I built, the city I know. But now it's time to pack and go. The city's quiet tonight, but I can feel it stir, like a living thing waiting, ready to transfer. It's weight on my soul, it's pull on my mind, but I made my decision, I'm leaving it all behind. These silent streets, they know my name, but I'm walking out, it's all the same. The city pulls, but I won't stay. I'm moving on and I'm walking away. I can hear the hum of the traffic in the distance, but I'm not listening, I'm focused on the mission. I made my choice, I'm leaving tonight, but the city's got its grip and it's holding tight. I thought I could slip away, unnoticed, unseen, but the city's got a way of keeping you in between. The streets I've walked, the life I've known, but it's time to go, time to leave it all alone. These silent streets, you know my name, but I'm walking out, it's all the same. The city pulls, but I won't stay. I'm moving on and I'm walking away. The rain falls soft, but it's loud in my head. The memories of a life I can't forget. But I'm stepping away, the door's closing behind. The city's got a hold, but I'm making it mine. These silent streets, they know my name, but I'm walking out, it's all the same. The city Walk the city's alleyways, shadows on the wall. One job left to do, then I'm gone, no looking back at it all. The phone rings, a voice says it's time to clean up the mess. I know this life too well, but it's the price I pay for success. Been the man in the shadows, moving fast and slow. But every step I've taken, the city's been watching me go. Now it's time to leave, but can I break free of its grip? I've been running from myself, but the city won't let me slip. I can hear the hum of the traffic in the distance, the city breathing deep, waiting for its next instance. It knows my name and it's got a hold on my soul. But this is the last time I'm breaking free, taking control. These streets know me and they won't let go. I'm moving on, but the city still holds me close. One last job and I'm walking away. But will I ever truly escape, or will the city always stay? The rain's falling softly as I step into the night. The briefcase in my hand, my conscience still in the fight. I've cleaned up messes, closed doors that should have stayed open. But now it's my turn to vanish, and I'm leaving no token. I can taste the freedom, but the city's got its claws. I can't outrun the past, and it's never too far. But tonight's the night I'll make my move. I'm finally out. If I don't make it this time, I'll forever be left in doubt. I can hear the hum of the traffic in the distance, the city breathing deep, waiting for its next instance. It knows my name and it's got a hold on my soul. But this is the last time I'm breaking free, taking control. These streets know me and they won't let go. I'm moving on, but the city still holds me close. One last job and I'm walking away. But will I ever truly escape, or will the city always stay? they're never far away. I'm walking out now, but the city won't let me stray. These streets know me, and they won't let go. I'm moving on, but the city still holds me close. One last job, and I'm walking away. But will I ever truly escape, or will the city always stay? Classic for metal moving sideways. Don't wanna raise our love is red. Praise the right escape over dragging his lover into the light. No one from a danger space for metal moving silence. So can't think of other for metal moving sides. Stayed in between. Now I'm living out of motels, trading miles for the cash. Every promise that I made you for is somewhere in the dash. There's a point before the sunrise where a man withdraws his line, staying and let the shadows reach you. I'll step out and cut the tide. I'm the last exit before dawn on this long and winding road where you choose between the warmth you want and the weight you can't unload. I'm the turn you never take when you're afraid to count the cost. I'm the quiet sign that's glowing when you're halfway to the lost. I could pull this engine back and forth straight into your arms, but men like me leave before the light shows all the damage and the scars. There's an envelope of money in the drawer by your old chair. Every dollar that I owe you for the nights I wasn't there. If this letter ever finds you, you know I signed it with my code. Never drag the ones you love down in the undertow you rode. I will drive beyond your skyline, keep my shadow off your street. Let the rumors turn to silence, let you call it cold retreat. But you'll sleep without the engines, without strangers at your door. You'll wake up and taste the quiet I could never give before. These motels all feel the same when you've outrun where you belong. Same buzzing soda machine in the hallway humming songs. Same parking lot of taillights disappearing one by one. Same outlaw in the mirror trying not to come undone. I'm the last exit before dawn on this long and winding road where you trade a burning story for a life my distance from your light. Let me be the road you almost took, then left behind the night. I'm the last exit before dawn, fading out of all your sight. Fading out of all your sight.
Desk up on a ledger, ink still shining trees. Silent man in the back room, quietly warning a younger man about the cost of seeking power, with gentleman gangster vibes and a sense of controlled menace. You say you wanna chase, say you're built to believe. I pull a spare chair from the wall, motion, quiet, have a seat. Thinking how to tell you that this room sets how your heart will beat. Started in the hallway with a tray and borrowed shoes, carrying glasses to the back, hearing names you never use. Watched the men who filled his office, how they listened more than spoke, how none could build a kingdom, how a line of ink could choke. They taught me when to turn the key, when to lock and when to burn, how to read a man in silence and not give his stare return. Now my pen is what they fear here, more than anything they bring. You think power is a weapon, I know power's what I reign. Once you cross, there's a little threshold, there's no walking back out clean. Every number on this paper lives inside you like a scene. I'm the silent man in the back room, when the talking's all been done. I decide what's really settled, who still owes and who can run. I'm the hand that does accounting when the bright lights all go dim. You can walk in like a lion, but you kneel when it's to him. If you think you want this table, think of everything you'll lose with the silent man in the back room. Every choice is what I choose. chessboard by the window, game abandoned at attack. Black knight waiting on the edge, white king corner can't step back. I slide the top drawer halfway, let you see the neat red lines, names and dates and little markers where the paper crosses spines. You reach out but never touch it, feel the weight in what it holds, see your face in empty margins where the ink is running cold. I say you can sign and join us, wear the suit and wear the steel, but this room will sign you back, kid, in a language you can't feel. Some men like the front bar laughter, like the sound of raisin toast. Some men live to stand in doorways, playing loud and talking hoarse. Me, I move in quiet circles, where the numbers never lie. If I write your name in here once, it'll walk with you for life. I'm the silent man in the back room, where your promises turn dead, where the handshakes you remember turn to terms you can't forget. I'm the hand that does the counting when your bravest mask comes loose. You can step in like a legend, but you leave with what I choose. If you wanna feel like someone, take one long last look around the silent man in the back room. You're the echo, I'm the sound. Slow train, platform empty but for no frame, paper ticket folded in my right hand grip, strange printed letters on a half-true script, metal door sighs when the handle turns, overhead speakers let the last call burn. I don't look back at the dark behind, just climb those narrow steps and leave that weight on the line. This city raised me with a crooked hand, taught me where to stand and where not to stand. I learned which doors needed softer keys, which quieted rooms only open for me. I walked its grid like a second skin,
for my silence with the noise within. But every block keeps scoring its own way. You can't take more than you're willing to pay. So I bought a ticket under somebody's name. Changed the spelling but the blood runs the same. My own reflection in the window glow knows what I carried and what I still owe. Another name on the ticket, same code in my veins, rolling out through the dark while that city remains. You can trade out your wallet, change the cut of your suit, but the face in the glass still calls you the truth. So I ride past the edges where the lights grow thin. Another name on the ticket, but I'm carrying him. Carriage lamp flickers in the narrow hall. Small duffel leaning by the metal wall. Conductor's punch leaves a round torn mark on the corner of a life running out of dark. Seat by the window with my back to the door. Boots on the rail, back pressed to the floor. Fields drift by like a black slow sea. Every mile I lay between that town and me. I've done work where the clocks never showed, where the only witness was an empty road. This time the job is my own escape, cutting loose clean from a familiar shape. If I don't leave now, I'll turn to stone. Just another scratched name on a cold gray stone. Another name on the ticket, same code in my veins. Let the steel keep talking while the distance gains. I can lose every alias, every low-lit room, but I won't lose the line that kept me walking through. So I ride past the borders till the sky grows thin. Another name on the ticket, but I'm carrying him.
I've walked these streets, been in the game too long. The city's pulse was my heartbeat, but something's wrong. I made my choices, lived in the dark. Now I'm walking away, leaving a cold, empty mark. The city behind me, but the shadow's still near. I've been running so long, but the end is clear. One last chance to break from the chain. But the weight of the past calls me back again. Exit light, but the shadows still follow. The city's grip is cold, but I've got to go. Exit light, but the shadows still follow. I'm leaving it all, but the price is hollow. I walk through the dark, now I can't look back. The road's ahead, but the shadows still track. My bag's packed tight, my hands on the wheel. I'm leaving it all, but I still feel the city behind me, but it's still in my head. I'm walking away, but I'm still filled with dread. I try to run, try to leave the fight, but the city's in my bones. Can't escape the night. Exit light, but the shadows still follow. I'm leaving it all, but the price is hollow. I walk through the dark, now I can't look back. The road's ahead, but the shadows still track. But the shadows still track.
Cold on empty platform, vending machine humming low. My name's not on the schedule, but this train still knows my road. Suitcase by my boot, handle worn from years of quiet moves. Ticket folded in my pocket, like a secret I once proved. Fluorescent slide back in silence. I don't hesitate. I used to move this city like a hand beneath its coat. Pulled the strings on quiet meetings, set the numbers, cleared the notes. Kept my name off all the papers, kept my face out of the frame. Let the loud ones chase the fever while I rearrange the game. But every street you think you're owning takes a payment from your bones. And the nights grow heavy on you when you're never really home. The steel line's running out forever, black blood through the country veins. There's a point where every legend has to board a different train. I'm the silent man on the last night train, leaving this city behind. Build my power in the shadow of its lights. Now I slip out of its mind. No parade, no curtain call, just the rhythm of the wheel and the frame. If you wanna move in silence, you learn to love a last night train. Fields slide by like pages from a book I never read. Old bridge over the river, all that weight above my head. In the glass I see a stranger with my eyes but not my name. Just a man who chose to vanish before someone else could claim. Every deal I left unfinished, every favor half repaid. They'll keep talking in the alleys long after I've gone away. Some men stay until the city takes the last of what they are. Spend their courage by the bottle just to die behind the bar. Me, I'd rather watch it shrinking in a window going black. Leave my ghost between the stations, and I'd find my own way back. I'm the silent man on the last night train, leaving this city behind. Build my empire in the shadow of its lights. Now I step out of its mind. No parade, no curtain call, just the rhythm and the low steel strain. If you wanna walk like a real man, sometimes you board a last night train. I'm the silent man on the last night train, fading out without a sound. Let the stories stay behind me, let the city keep my crown. We park up by the loading ramp, kill the lights and kill the song. Concrete sweating under steel, river pulling slow and strong. I'm leaning on a pillar, collar turned against the chill. You walk up in your bright shoes like you never learned to steal. There's a briefcase in the trunk space, there's a ledger in my head. Every move we ever made, every word you ever said. I stood quiet in your blind spots, took the stains you never wore. I'm the name they never mention when they praise you on that floor. I walked you past a dozen doors where your picture should have hung. Turned a favor into silence, turned a rumor into tongue. Kept your jacket clean at tables where the stakes were not a game. Sat in back rooms with the shadows while they only said your name. I've watched you hold a crystal glass like the air was something new, while I measured every handshake, every sideways little code. Chestnut rolling in my pocket, piece that only bends and nails. I've been stepping round your noise and keeping watch while trouble swells. Lately I hear hallway whispers with my syllables attached. Hear you dropping little stories like a fuse that's almost matched. You forget the quiet worker till his patience starts to crack. You forget who took the long road that kept steel off your back. I'm the quiet man who keeps your name from rolling with this tide. I'm the steady hand that wipes your prints and lets you stand in pride. You can shine in all the bright rooms, let them bless your heavy load. But the night moves on a whisper, and I walk by my own code. Yeah, I'm the quiet man, the quiet man's code. See that freight car on the siding, see those cables on the beams, rust and iron in the moonlight, river talking in the seams. All it takes is one loose story, one wrong boast at one wrong ball, and the road we built together turns to distance, turns to tar. I don't raise my voice to warn you, I don't need to say it twice. I just point out how the river doesn't argue with the ice. You can take this last reminder, close your mouth and close that door, or keep laughing like a stranger at the man who cleaned your floor. Every gentleman in shadow keeps a ledger of his own, nights and names and broken glasses etched in uncollected stone. I don't bargain with my silence, I don't rent out what I serve. Cross the line that feeds my quiet, you get what you truly serve. I'm the quiet man who keeps your name from sinking in this stream. I'm the figure in the doorway of your carefully built dream. You can smile for all the portraits, let them carve you into gold, but the night belongs to footsteps that have learned to walk the cold. Yeah, I'm the quiet man, the quiet man's code. I'm the quiet man who held your story just beyond the light. I'm the one who stands between you and a very final night. You can joke about the rumors, call this talk a heavy load, but I don't repeat a warning when it's written in my code. Yeah, I'm the quiet man, the quiet man's code. these streets too long. Shadows in the night, the city's breath on my neck, always out of sight. I made my peace with silence, it's the only way to live. But tonight I'm packing bags, ready to forgive. The wheels keep turning, the city's calling my name, but I can't stay in the game. It's all the same, it's all the same. I played my part, now I'm leaving it behind. But the city's breathing down my neck, always on my mind. I hear the train whistle, it's pulling me away, but the city's whispering, begging me to stay. I've made my choices, but can I really leave it all behind? The past keeps pulling, but I'm running out of time. I'm walking away, but the city will still call me home. I'm leaving the darks behind, but I won't be left alone. I've played my part, now I'm done, but it never really ends. You can leave the city, but I'll always be your friend. I've been the one to handle the dirty work, the quiet hand, the ones who don't ask questions, the ones who understand. But I'm tired, I'm ready to go, to disappear from the scene. But the city's always watching, it'll never let me leave clean. You think you're free when you leave, thinking you can start fresh, but the city never forgets, it never gives up its grip, it's a test. I play the game, but I'm done, I'm moving on. But there's one thing you should know, you can never be gone. But the city will still call me home. I'm leaving the darks behind, but I won't be left alone. I've played my part, now I'm done, but it never really ends. You can leave the city, but I'll always be your friend. Keep rolling, but I'm feeling the weight of every step I've taken and the choices I still hate. I'm leaving the city behind, but it's never out of sight. The past lingers like a shadow, even in the dead of night. I'm walking away, but the city will still call me home. I'm leaving the darks behind, but I won't be left alone. I've played my part, now I'm done, but it never really ends. city, but I'll always be your friend. Long play rhythm haunting of that says inscribed away. Got my coat hung by the window, got this briefcase by my leg. One-way ticket on the table, coffee trembling in its foam. Still is singing on the railing, but this carriage feels like home. The kingdom in background, where the blinds were always there. I stayed quiet in the corner while the louder man put on. You could hear my name and murmur when the deals were almost broke. I just signed with steady fingers, let the others make the smoke. Now the glass throws back a stranger in a tie that doesn't shine, just a shadow on a nightline, leaving everything behind. This is a one-way ticket for a ghost, for a man who moved in silence more than most, leaving with my ledger in my coat. Every mark and every uncollected note, that was a calm hand under every boast. Now I'm sliding off the board they think I own, on this one-way ticket for a ghost. I paid the price, now I'm alone. There's a letter in my pocket with a younger man's first name. He's been watching how I walk in, like the rules are just a game. Tried to teach him when to listen, when to smile and when to freeze, but the hunger in his question sounded far too much like me. Vending machine in the hallway hums a tired little song. Boots on metal in the doorway as the lights jump and are gone. These long miles of black glass windows replay everything I've done. I can vanish from their tables, but my patterns carry on. This is a one-way ticket for a ghost, for a suit that keep my soul. As I see facing backwards in the last car, this whole town slipping out of frame. Ticket folded in my fingers with a one-way printed name. Overhead light hums and flickers, broken halo on my shoes, duffel tucked under the bench seat, just the things I had to choose. Old conductor punched the paper, barely glanced and moved on by. Men who stare through moving windows all got that same careful eye. Station lights fall off behind us, tracks are shaking through the floor. If I don't leave on my own terms, I'll get carried through that door. You were drifting on the sofa when I slid my keys down by the sink. Left a short line by the kettle, saying less than I could think. All the nights I came home late with some story from the streets, while my cup still held the echo of the hands I had to meet. I made quiet trays and stairwells, locked up doors and closed my eyes. Kept a press code in the wardrobe, kept the dirt where no one pries. You believe the man who held you was the man I used to be, but the work that paid our rent kept pulling darker over me. If I stay, that house will crumble from the things I have to do. Every favor, every secret has a way of touching you. So I took the one decision they can't pry out of my hand. Turn my back on what I built, let it fall without a plan. I'm gone before the morning, long before they speak my name. I'm the man who leaves the table while there's money in the game. I don't wait for doors to open, I don't beg for them to close. Yeah, I'm gone before the morning, that's the only way this goes. 'Cause a man like me don't get to stay wherever his shadow grows. Silhouettes of quiet houses slide past in a jagged line. Every crossing throws a shudder through this long, still crooked spine. I can see your face reflected in the dark glass over mine. Two faint shapes laid on each other, one that's leaving, one in time. There's a narrow strip of carpet running past each rattling door. Vending machine hums and pulses near the end of this old car. I walk down to stretch my backbone, feel the rhythm in my knees. Every step says keep on moving if you ever wanna breathe. If I stayed, they'd come a-knocking with a smile and folded list. Ask for one more quiet errand, twist my future in their fists. You'd be pouring coffee in the kitchen while they drain my hours dry, till the weight behind my eyes turn a stranger in your eyes. So I'm choosing how I vanish with this ticket and this bag. No parade, no final showdown, just my handwriting on a tag. If you ever find that letter, know I left to keep you clear of the man this life was shaping me, of the knock that's drawing near. I'm gone before the morning, while the sky is still cold black. I'm the shadow that steps forward and decides not to come back. I don't wait for verdicts written by the hands I used to feed. Yeah, I'm gone before the morning, that's the last clean thing I lead. You can say I disappeared, say I folded with the cards, say I walked out like a coward when the road turned thin and hard. But I'm gone before the morning, and that's how it had to be. 'Cause a man who walks out early still can't choose what party he leaves.
Back room over the bar, door locked from the inside. Green lamp leaning on a ledger that I guard more than my pride. Safe door breathing in the corner, heavy metal quiet threat. Stacks of notes and folded papers, half of them are unpaid debts. You wipe down glasses in the hallway, hear the muffled midnight band. I keep the numbers in this office, every move runs through my hand. Clock ticks louder than the music, louder than the crowd below. If you knew what's on these pages, you walk softer when you go. There was a time we shared a jacket, me and him against the night. He would talk and light the powder, I would read the room and write. When the bosses needed order, they came knocking at my chair. Said you're good with quiet choices, put the right names where they're fair. So I balanced out the columns, cleaned the mess they wouldn't see, shifted blame in quiet ledgers, kept his role marked carefully. But one night the heat came sudden, someone had to wear the chain. I erased his line from danger, slid it into someone's frame. They toast the man at the table, think the crown sits on his head. But I'm the pressure in his handshake, and the ink he never reads. I'm the man behind the ledger, where your story's just a line. I can turn a shout to silence with a number and a sign. Every name I circle twice, every debt I choose to spare puts another stone inside me that I carry everywhere. I went to see him through the glass once, cold receiver in my hand. He just smiled and shook his head like he already knew the plan. Said you always were the thinker, you just did what you were paid. But his eyes stayed on my cufflinks, on the life I never traded. On the walk back from that building, every street lamp felt like court. I could hear the boss's chuckle hanging over every door. Came back here, unlocked this office, opened up the book again. Every blank square on these pages looked exactly like his grin. Bosses come and bosses go, some in cars and some in chains, but the ledger stays beside me, only learns to change its names. I'm the one still at this desk when they move on or disappear. I can bury any secret, but I can't bury what I hear. I'm the man behind the ledger, where your story's just a line. I can turn your world to shadow with a number and a sign. Every name I circle twice, every fate I choose to spare makes the room feel smaller nightly with the weight I have to bear. I'm the man behind the ledger in this quiet watching town. When the music stops below us, I'm the one who writes you down. Keeping secrets, buzzing low against the wall. That's a table full of napkins, cheap and bleeding in my hand. Motel key on silver metal with a number, not a name. A phone screen glowing on the nightstand with your last unanswered line. Curtains holding out the highway and the slow truck headlights shine. Suitcase leaning by the doorway like it's waiting for a cue. I write words I'll never send you, that's the closest I can do. You once said this kind of living only ends in open ground. I just just smiled and changed the subject. Kept my eyes on what I found. You saw more than all the others, every scar beneath his coat. Read the silence in my answers, like you were reading careful notes. You asked me for something steady, more than passing painted rooms. I said I don't trade in dreaming, I just manage risk and wounds. Tonight's work crossed one more border than the lines I used to draw. Now the safest thing I know is you forget I ever called. There's a pistol in the duffel with a shirt thrown on the steel. There's a car that waits on signal when it hears my kind of wheel. There's a man who'll come and ask you if I don't roll out by 4. In a world that pays in silence, love can't stand inside the door. I'm the kind of man who checks out before dawn. Leave the key on the table with the headlights already on. If you ever feel me near you, I've already moved along. Yeah, I'm the kind of man who checks out before dawn. I don't bargain with the darkness, I just pay and I'm gone. Diner sign is half-lit letters, coffee cooling in my cup. Counter chrome reflects a tired in my eyes when I look up. Map is folded on the plastic, fingerprint on every town. Waitress wipes a ring of sugar, never even glances down. Out there by the lonely gas pumps, moths go crazy in the light. Tail lights sliding over asphalt like red knives against the night. I leave cash beneath the saucer, not once push the door and breathe. Every step back to the highway is a promise I won't keep. If I stayed and let you hold me, you would see what I've become. Every favor that I'm owing, every number that won't sum. If I turn this car around now, they would follow where you live. So I love you like a secret that I'm never gonna give. In a life that runs on distance, this is all the grace I own. Keeping you outside the story keeps me married to the road. I'm the kind of man who checks out before dawn. Leave the key on the Bible with the headlights already on. If you ever dream you'll hear me, I've already crossed the line. Just a shadow in the mirror of a long straight exit sign. Yeah, I'm the kind of man who checks out before dawn. I can buy another sunrise, but I can't afford your dawn. Thin curtains breathing every time the truck's lights cross. Tasty cup of cooling coffee, sweating on the deck. A map folded it on the table, highway inked in red and mess. Motel Bible open to a page I never read. Motel key still on the ring, metal numbers by the bed. TV with no sound, just faces, mouth, and someone's lines. I'm writing you a letter that I'll leave between the blinds. You in that small kitchen with a window to the yard. Steam above the kettle, saying you don't have to be so hard. I come back smelling of the road and some half-finished deal. You touch the bruises on my ribs like there's something you could heal. Last job felt like gravel grinding underneath my wheels. Man at pump 11, watching more than he reveals. Headlights in the mirror look like questions I can't dodge. So I drove past the exit where they like to watch the lodge. I'm no hero in this story, I won't ever save the world. All I've got's one honest line to leave you safe, my only girl. I'm the last exit before the sun, where the hard ones cut and run. If you love me, you don't come, you just let this story go. I'm a shadow on a highway sign, disappearing from your line. I'm the last exit before the sun, that's the truest thing I know. Pen drags on this paper like a tire that's lost its tread. Suit jacket on the hanger, duffel bag at foot of bed. Your photograph is folded, corners softened by my thumb. You're smiling like you saw the man I might have someday become. I could turn the wheel at dawn, park outside your quiet street. Let my past catch up and die like boots on sleeping feet. But there's men who walk in daylight and there's men who walk alone. I was built to keep on driving, not to bring this to your home. Every young man wants a crown, engine roar and neon wire. Thinks the world will bow its head just because his blood runs fire. But the ones who last the longest leave before they're really seen. Trade their name for empty miles in a tank that's halfway clean. I'm the last exit before the sun, where the hard ones cut and run. If you miss me, don't you come, don't let memory pull you slow. I'm a shadow on your kitchen wall, just a number you won't call. I'm the last exit before the sun, fading in that early glow. I'm the last exit before the sun, just a taillight running low.
Vacancy sign buzzing through these thin motel room shades. Vending machine in the hallway spits its coins like tire grenades. Motel key on the table with a map and folded cash. Revolver's faint long shadow on a Bible in the ash. Cheap fan rattle in the ceiling keeps the highway humming time. There's a postcard on the nightstand from a cleaner, distant life of mine. I write your name at the top line on this motel notepad page, but the pen hangs in the middle like it's stuck between the roads I've made. You said either lose the leather or I'm losing you for good. I kept driving, kept on hauling what I never should have stood. Backroom doors and quiet back seats, gravel lots behind the light. Gas pumps, sighing engines, island trading favors in the nights. I learned every silent handshake, every number in my head, but I never learned the language for the words I should have said. Now this room is full of echoes of the promises I broke. Every mile that made me harder pulled me farther from your smoke. This highway only runs one way from where a man like me has been. Every exit sign behind me feels like one more little sin. At the last exit motel, they don't ask about your name. Pay in cash, keep your story, let the neon take the blame. I'm the ghost behind the curtain with the keys in full tank ready. Every heartbeat like an engine, tight, quiet, cold and steady. If I drive out of this doorway, I can shield you from my hell. So I'm leaving what we were here at the last exit motel. Suitcase leaning by the dresser with your picture tucked inside. Your handwriting on the corner, call me when you're done with pride. I fold this letter like a secret, slide it deep into my coat. Leave the motel key on scripture, one more silent unpaid note. Boots on cracked and faded carpet, hallway lights play warm then pale. Ice machine breeze in the corner like it's tracking my old trail. Out the door the lot is empty, but my car in yellow lines. Fuel pump ticking as it fills up on the pieces that were mine. Some men die behind a desk light, some burn up in someone's war. Men like me just fade in motion, mile by mile from door to door. If I stay, they'll drag you with me. If I run, you stay alive. So I'll carry all the darkness. You can keep the morning dry. At the last exit motel, I won't ride No, I left your name in silence at the last exit motel.